explain what I'm going to be doing in each day, and then I will give the total mileage for each week. Hey guys, welcome back to Dave the Runner. If you're new, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, it's lovely to see you. I've missed you. So if you didn't already know, I'm running 100 kilometers for charity on the Gold Coast, March 18th with my mate Tommy. I've never ran 100Ks before. The furthest I've ran is at the marathon distance. Even though I did a marathon on Saturday and a marathon on Sunday, both of those together still don't add up to the 100K run that I plan to do on March 18th. If you didn't know I was running 100 kilometers for charity, then jump on my Instagram, Dave the Runner. There's a reel there, has all the info of what the purpose behind it all is, why I'm doing it, and where it's gonna be as well. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down my training plan that I've created for myself for the next 5 weeks leading up to the 100K event. Just going to be running through the training, so I'm going to leave the fueling and hydration strategy for another video that I'll be filming in the next coming weeks leading up to the race. While preparing, or while I was writing this training plan, because I have little to no knowledge of the ultramarathon distance or how to prepare for it in any way, of course, what does someone do in that situation? They jump on YouTube and they look up some vlogs and look at other people's training who have been doing the same thing or have done it numerous times before, who have experience in the sport. So I did that, and I've managed to get a pretty good idea of what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing, and I've managed to create a 5-week training block that I think is gonna make me prepared to finish this 100K, hopefully in the sub 10-hour goal. The first thing that I learned while I was researching and watching YouTube was you can do it one of two ways with your long runs. You can either pick one day of the week and slog out a massive run, but that's usually pretty hard on the body and can lead to fatigue or overtraining and so on. The alternative to that, I learned, was you can do back-to-back runs. So that would be a long run Saturday, long run Sunday. That way you're still doing the mileage fairly close together, but you're not having to do the whole block on the one day, which can be pretty taxing on the body. And to be honest, I jumped at the idea of doing these back-to-back weekends just because I want to have somewhat of a life on Sunday. I don't want to just have to dedicate my entire Sunday to like running for 4 hours, upwards of 40 Ks and so on, preparing for this race. So the idea of splitting it into 2 days was just amazing to me. For the next 5 weeks, I basically just want to work on building that mileage up nice and high, just so I can get my body used to basically get used to being on the legs for 100 Ks. I mean, you can only prepare yourself so much, but getting the mileage up is definitely going to help in that aspect. So my main goals for the 5-week training plan leading up to the 100K race is I want to build up my mileage as much as I can in the first 4 weeks, and I'm going to taper for the final week. I also have a couple of 10K races and some half marathons coming up in the first half of the year, so I still want to be working on my speed sessions for those. So I'm not going to be neglecting those at all. I'm going to keep them in, and then I'm going to have the rest of the training plan is going to be easy running and then steady and long runs back to back on the weekend. Basic principles I'm going to be following for this training plan are as follows. I have my recovery, easy, and rest days all highlighted in blue. I have my speed, so my interval sessions, my threshold sessions highlighted in green, and then I have my long runs and steady runs highlighted in red. I'm going to be training 6 days a week, or running 6 days a week. I'm going to be strength training at least 2 times a week, 3 times if would be ideal. And with my strength training, it's mostly just going to be maintenance, so I want to be strength training just to maintain the muscle I have now, and I also want to be preventing injury from all of the mileage I'm going to be running. So what that would mean would be lots of single leg stuff. I've had trouble with my ITV, so lots of glute strengthening, stretching, and foam rolling. I'm also in the market for an ice bath. I've been told you can get one on Facebook Marketplace for like $200 and fill it up, keep the water in there for a couple of weeks. You don't have to empty it very often, and then you've got ice baths at home. So you may see me purchase one in the next couple of weeks because I think the body's gonna be pretty battered leading into this race and definitely after the race is done. So like I said before, the training plan is 5 weeks. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna give a week by week rundown where I will explain what I'm gonna be doing in each day, and then I will give the total mileage for each week leading into the race. So for week 1, on the Monday, we have a recovery run. So I've got here written 8 to 10 Ks. This is just gonna be off feel. If I'm feeling really good, 10. If I'm feeling not so good, I'll just stick to the 8. Moving on Tuesday, which is a threshold day. I've got programmed here 8 by 5 minutes above threshold pace, and then float below threshold pace. So what that basically means is I do 5 minutes just above threshold, so it's uncomfortable, and then I go straight into 5 minutes float, which is just below threshold, which is a bit more comfortable, almost like a steady run rest in that. So yeah, 8 reps of that, and that works out to be about 13.5 Ks. Then Wednesday, we've got my easy hour, so that's similar to the recovery. Nice, slow, easy pace. Don't want to push it too hard, keep the heart rate under 150, 145. So moving on to Thursday, we've got some intervals. This is actually going to be a tune-up, more of like a tune-up session, because I have a race this weekend, a 10K race. So nothing too crazy, it's just going to be a 3K warm-up, 3K cool down, and I've just got a 2x1K with 90 seconds recovery in between, and then I've got some 30-second intervals there as well. Moving on, Friday, I'm going to have a rest day, and then Saturday, which would usually be a steady long run, I've got the Sri Chimnoy Twilight Botanic Gardens 10K race. So I'm looking at giving that a good crack. The goal is I will be happy with anywhere in the 38s, but I'm not gonna give myself a goal time or put too much pressure on myself. It's just early in the year, so I just wanna have a bit of fun. I'm doing it with my mates, so we should have a good time. That's at 6 p.m, bit of a weird time to race for me personally, but I can't wait to do it. Then on the Sunday, we have the longer run, which is gonna be 20 Ks. So hopefully I'm not feeling too battered up from that 10K the night before. It's definitely gonna be nice and slow and nice and easy on that Sunday. So for week 1, the total mileage is 68.5 kilometers. So a pretty decent week, even without that steady run on the Saturday. So this is week 2. We have the recovery again on Monday. We've got another threshold Tuesday. Wednesday, easy hour. Thursday, some more intervals. So for these intervals, we got 20 by 400s with 40 seconds rest in between. And that should add up to about 13 Ks. We've got a rest day on the Friday. Saturday, we get into our first steady long run. So this will be between 15 and 18 Ks. Again, I'm just gonna play it by feel, see how the body goes with that, and then we back it up with a 20K longer run. Week 2, we have a total mileage of 78 kilometers, so a 10 kilometer increase than the week before. Cool, then we move on to week 3, guys. So we've got that recovery run on the Monday, another threshold session on Tuesday. This one we've got 2 by 10 times 300 meters with 100 meter recovery in between. That one usually works out to be about 11 Ks. We've got the easy hour on the Wednesday, recovery. Thursday, we have an interval session, so we've got 10 by 500 meters progression. So I'm gonna start off at a reasonably comfortable pace, and then with each 500 meter interval, I'm going to pick up the pace and get a little bit faster until we probably finish off the last progression around my 5K pace. Then we have a Friday rest, and then Saturday, we got the steady long again, so 15 Ks to 18, and then the longer run on the Sunday with the 20 Ks. That's a total mileage of 75 Ks for week 3. Moving on to week 4, so this will be my last week of full volume. So we have the recovery run on the Monday. Tuesday, we have 7 by 3 minutes with diminishing rest. So the first rest is going to be 2.5 minutes, and then it decreases by 30 seconds with each interval and ends up being a pretty speedy little sesh. So that's one of my favorites actually. Easy hour, works out to be about 12 Ks on the legs there. Then we have the last interval session that I'll be doing before the race. So we've got some 90, 30, 15 intervals. So those are all seconds. Bit of a speed tune up as well. Love that session. Works out to be about 11 Ks. Rest on Friday. Saturday, another classic steady run between 15 and 18 Ks. And then we've got the final longer run on the Sunday to follow. With that, we check out at 77 Ks in total for week 4. Then we have race week, so week 5, we're gonna have a recovery run on Monday, we're gonna rest on Tuesday, easy hour on Wednesday, rest Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday is the big day. So we've got hopefully 100 kilometers for Harry in under 10 hours. My overall game plan for this training plan is to keep my speed work up with those 2 interval / threshold days each week. And that's just to prepare for myself for a couple of short distance and middle distance races that I have coming up within the first half of the year, while adding in some pretty lengthy long runs on the weekends with the back-to-back strategy. Awesome guys, I hope you enjoyed this little 100 kilometer training plan video. I love filling you guys in, and it just holds me accountable to basically the next 5 weeks. So if all goes to plan, I will be fighting fit, ready to race 100 kilometers with Tommy on the Gold Coast, March 18th. And I just want to say, like, I am in no way a professional. This is just what works for me. Doing this exact plan might not work for you. It might not even work for me. This is just kind of what I have figured out is going to be the best for me and what I've managed to research online. I know that fueling and hydration is probably like 50% of the race, so I will definitely be doing another video on that. I find that stuff super interesting and also super confusing. So hopefully I can break that down for you guys and make it easy enough to understand as well. That's all for today's video, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and like. Really helps me out. If you do like the content, share it with your running friends or anybody that you think would enjoy this content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.